Okay, hi, Gabriel Josiah here. Today, we're going to be looking at another module on the ICAN case study. Last time we looked at the second unit, talking about the case study paper, and we also looked at the difference between the ICAN case study and other professional papers. Okay, so today we'll quickly look at the third unit, the first chapter. I'll share my screen quickly so we can quickly delve into the course without any much wasting of your time. So the third unit talks about the case study exams. So we'll be looking at that very, very briefly so we can understand and comprehend the course. Okay, so the case study exam will comprise a case scenario packaged, and it includes what we call exhibits. Exhibits are the documents and the interactions between the organization you work with, the organization you assume to be the case, and also the request from your client or your superior. So those documents and communications in written text are called exhibits. So some of them will be mainly in narrative form. That's an email or an industry overview. Others should be largely numerical, maybe extracts from financial statements. You have statement of comprehensive income. You have a balance sheet. You have a statement of cash flow. You have a statement of changes in equity. Depending on the variety of financial statement the user or the client wants you to analyze. So remember that it's a mixture of the two, either a business plan or supplementary schedules to financial information or numerical analysis, together with relevant legal documents and current press articles and general documents you could have. So within this case scenario package, you'll be provided with information concerning you. That's you in the case, not your personal, but the case you are analyzing. So you see the requirements they ask you are. So you are to wear the hat of the person you are in the case. Your firm or your employer, your role, and your client's business. So that's what you find in the exhibits, the scenario that is painted. You also find the commercial sector in which your client or business operates, whether it's FMCG, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's banking, depending on the industry. But from the preceding document, you'll be able to decipher who you are or where you are in the case. You also have financial, operational, or commercial information about your clients and business. So financial in the sense that you have numerical values, computations, and maybe a trend analysis, 2 years, 3 years, financial summary. You also have operational information, and you have commercial information about the client. You could have the business environment, internal or external, and business strategy of your clients or your employer. You also have other information relevant to the case, your customer, your clients, your suppliers, potential acquirers, your targets, etc. So these are the clue of things you could find in the case, which is very important to take note of that. So the exhibits may present itself in a variety of formats. So there may be an internal memo or an external memo, commission survey conducted with an external or internal industry consultant, a letter from the public body, and so on and so forth. So the exhibits will operate together so as to form the whole picture. And there could be number 1, exhibit 1, 2, 3, up till 10, as much as the client or employer deems it. The interconnectedness are very, very, very distinct. So perhaps sometimes you have contradiction, which ones to be evaluated or sorted out before attempting to write your report. So the numerical material could be in the form of IFRSs. So let's say, for example, IFRS 9, financial instruments. So you could be asked to calculate ECL and write a report on ECL, IFRS 9, expected credit loss, which was the traditional or formal provision for that debt. So frequently the financial information could be shown as a management accounts unaudited or extract of a financial statements for ease of presentation with appropriate detail. So these are some of what you'll be having in the in the exhibits. It's good we looked at them in detail, and the case study exams, the exhibits must come in form of pre-seen and also unseen. So the pre-seen comes 2 weeks before the exams. Then at the exam proper, you get the unseen. So the pre-seen comes not in the structured exam environment, but the unseen comes in the structured exam environment, the class where you write the exams. And that's where you actually get the requirements. So the significant change in the pre-seen and the unseen are to some extent not linked up together. You just have an overview, so it may not impact what you see in the unseen. To take note of that. Very, very important. All right. That will be the end of this module 3, and I'll see you in the next module. All right. So bye for now.